Hello, welcome to Workshop 8, Creating Details. This is the third and final video. We're going to look at annotating and adding symbols to your details, but I did want to show you one more quick thing about creating the details before we move on, and that's that if you go to, let's see here, Insert, Load Family, and I'm just going to grow the screen a little bit so you can see this. Detail items. You have, just about any detail you could want. These are divided by division. I think this is CSI, which Construction Services Institute. I should know that because every specification book is divided into these divisions. This is also how we do our pricing, but I digress. I can come in here and look at, let's say, electrical, lighting, interior lighting, got some basic lighting details. These are, once again, these are 2D families that I can use anywhere. I have plumbing. I say, let me do, let's try furnishings, casework, countertops. There's just about anything you could think of putting in your model. From a kind of basic standpoint, it's going to be in here. Concrete, reinforcing steel, right? Many of you are going to have to draw reinforcing. It's in here already. If I do, let's see, if I do reinforcing section rebar. Now I go to annotate. Oh, sorry, to activate my view. Now I go to annotate component. Here's my rebar, and then this is kind of cool. These aren't just dots. Oops. Oh, sorry, I keep clicking on everything. So these are not simply dots. They are actually based on rebar, on real rebar sizes. So whatever your structural engineer tells you the rebar needs to do, this is going to change size in relation to that. I did these number 10s, which are ridiculously thick. If I can do a number 6 or what have you, or just whatever looks good in the drawing, which might be appropriate for most of you. So there you go. I just want to show you that there are so many of these detail families available. So let's move on to annotation. Annotation is also pretty simple. I don't think we need to tag anything in here, so we can kind of skip tags. Dimensions you should already be familiar with, as well as spot elevations. If you saw that, that just tells me that this is plus 4'8". I didn't model this. Let me do this real quick. So this is my paving, my brick sidewalk. It must be in Boston. If I give that just a little bit of a slope, which it should have anyway for drainage purposes, I can then go in here and do a spot slope. There you go. Tells me that this is a 1/4 inch to a foot, which is probably much more than I need. I think I only need 1/8 of an inch. If I'm going to do callouts, I come up here to text, and then you'll see my contextual tab changes a little bit. And I have all these different options. I can always change these options on text after I've placed it. It's easy to do. So I have curvy tail, I have a 2-segment tail, and then I have a straight segment tail. I'm going to do I'll do the 2-segment tail. So this, like that, and then say that this is I don't know, tempered. I think I'm making something up right now. High energy glass. I don't even know if that's a thing. Glass. There we go. I can always click on this and shrink it. That's going to kind of move along with that. I can change the justification. When I'm inside, I can change to bold, italic, underline. If I need different text styles, I select those from here. So I have some basics. Oops, maybe not ½ inch. Let's do 1/4 inch. It's a little more reasonable. It's easy to create more. I just go to Edit Type, Duplicate. I won't rename it, and then I can change my text size, the tab size, the font. I don't know what I have in here. I mean, just about everything you can expect to have. The color of the text, whether or not it has an opaque background or a transparent background, that has to do with this. So I actually have opaque background. You can see that there's this sort of white masking region behind my text. You know what I should have done? Instead of high energy, I should have done low E. I don't know what I'm thinking. There we go, low E. And you can pull these outside of your region, actually. So as you can see, that can go beyond my actual view region. And typically what I like to do is I'll just copy these down. Grade, beam. Well, let me not copy one. I'll show you how to make kind of another one. So I might have this. You can see I'm going to get that snap. And that makes sure that my text is going to actually line up. Rebar. Number 6. Actually, need to change that back to 1/4 inch. There we go. Oops. There we go. Just kind of snap that. Looks like I lost my snap at some point, but there we go. They go right back. And so it's pretty easy to do, and I can always edit these after the fact. I can have them coming out both sides if I want to. I can add multiples. So where'd it go? There it is. So if I want to have something like that and that, and I can have them coming out, you know, both sides. Maybe I have something over here. And this is starting to get messy, but you get my point. Let's see, and then we're not really tagging things, so I can skip through this. We can insert symbols. You can see a couple that I have over here for structure. This is if there's some kind of fabric, area, beam direction. There's a span direction. If I were in a plan view, I could show span direction. I have different symbols I can insert in. See what I have here. This is a north arrow. Do anything better than this? Oh, and then I can do center line. even though my center line is looking a little bit small. Easy to edit these. Okay, just change the scale in here. And I'm trying to use the actual, I probably don't want that. I probably want something like this. Let's take a look at that. There we go. Something that's at least a little more legible now. And that's how I annotate the drawings. It's pretty straightforward. And fairly simple. I think there's another way to do this too. If you're really not comfortable with Revit, you can always take all that kind of base geometry that we started with, and you can just export that into AutoCAD. Do that up here. Export CAD formats DWG. If you want to bring this in Illustrator, I recommend exporting it as a PDF and then bringing the PDF into Illustrator. But as I mentioned, I think it's pretty easy to do this in Revit, and you'll probably find the same. So that's it. Thank you for paying attention.